Hi everybody, today we're speaking about punctuation for the IELTS exam. If you look at the band descriptors from the official IELTS guidelines, you'll see that punctuation is mentioned under grammar range and accuracy several times. And unfortunately, even if you make a small mistake in punctuation, you will lose marks and get a lower band score. So in this video, I'd like to cover all the elements of punctuation to make sure that you're getting a better band score. So just a quick review on those elements. First of all, a full stop or a period in American English is used at the end of a sentence. That's followed by a space and then a capital letter in the next sentence. A comma is used after a cohesive device like furthermore or overall, and it's also used to separate two independent clauses that are joined by a conjunction like and or but or a relative pronoun. Now a semicolon separates two independent clauses that are connected, and that's why we don't use a full stop at the end of the first clause. And then a question mark is used at the end of a question. So in this video, let's look now at writing tasks 1 and writing tasks 2 and how we can use this punctuation accurately. So let's get started. So we use commas after introductory phrases or phrases that come before the main clause, and to separate two independent clauses separated by conjunction or pronoun. So for example, in a writing task 1 overview, we use comma after the linking word. So for example, overall, comma, space, the sales of apples and bananas increased over the period. And if you forget that comma, unfortunately, you will lose marks and your band score level will be lower. So make sure that you remember to put the comma after that cohesive device. In IELTS writing, we also use a comma after adjective clauses and prepositional phrases such as regarding, before, or in relation to. So for example, regarding oranges, comma, space, sales increased between 2009 and 2012. So our adjective prepositional phrase or prepositional phrase comes at the beginning, in this case, and then we place our comma after, and that is followed by the main clause. So make sure to leave that space after the comma. In an adverbial clause, which is, for example, with while or whereas, we use a comma after that first clause. So for example, while there was a decrease in nuclear energy, comma, there was an increase in the percentage in electricity. So we place the comma after the dependent clause in the adverbial clause. But of course, if we switch that around, we could say there was an increase in the percentage of electricity while there was a decrease in nuclear energy. In that case, we don't need to put a comma if while is at the second position in the sentence. In relative clauses, we use commas to define a relative clause to separate the dependent from the main clause. So for example, social media, comma, which is accessed easily on mobile devices, comma, is becoming more popular these days. We don't use commas in a defining relative clause. So if we were to say there are many devices which people use to access social media, no punctuation in this case. It's only in that non-defining relative clause when you're adding that extra information in the dependent clause. Semicolons are used to separate two independent but connected clauses. The reason we don't use a full stop or period is because the sentences are still connected, and we don't use a comma because the clauses are independent. So for example, green vegetables are good for your health, semicolon. Fresh fruit is also good for stamina. So the two sentences actually can stand alone. They are independent, but they're connected because they're both about the same topic. So we use a semicolon to separate them. Make sure in that second phrase that you're using a small letter because it's not a capital letter after a period. Full stops. We use a full stop or period when the sentence is fully finished. For example, although green vegetables are better for your health, fast food is convenient and tasty. Full stop. Therefore, many people eat fast food. So make sure that you use a capital letter in the next sentence after the space, and use that one space between the full stop and the next letter. We also use full stops after abbreviations such as Jan for January, Mr. for Mr. Capital letters are used for the following types of words: the first word of the sentence, a proper noun, or acronyms. And in the reading part of IELTS, make sure you use capital letters in the same way as they are used in the reading passage. So that's it, everyone, for punctuation. Thanks for watching and good luck in IELTS. See you in our next video. Bye.